What is up, guys? It's Mitchell or Deity, and today we're going to be going over all of the changes on the account. So, as the last video was actually episode 10.5, I wanted you guys to go and pick an RTA roster. So, what I did was I picked my RTA roster, and I will go through and show all my builds. I have a video of me going through and following that thing. It's actually a stream. You can watch me go, build all the characters, pick the characters, level up some gear, switch around the gear I bought from Arena Conquest Point Shop, depending on what gear I needed to finish up builds. I have all of that. The link will be down in the description. It is a long video. You can skip through it. You can skip to the end. This is technically the end of that portion because I'll show all the characters. But you need to go and figure out what characters you want. The reason we're doing this, even if you're not playing RTA, that's fine. But these are going to be our Arena and Guild War characters, okay? These characters will be utilized in all sorts of different content. Once you build up the teams, you're going to be super happy you have all this stuff. That is going to be this episode. I'll be showing you all that, showing you what to work on next. Next episode is going to be kind of teaching you RTA, teaching you where to pick these characters. I'll have a couple like examples. I'll show you some matches, and then it's going to be building all of our hunt teams. I'll show you a team for each hunt. I'm going to show you a couple characters to work on today, and then the final expo team. So expeditions cycle at the end of every month. The next month has every 2 months has new expedition teams. So I want us to have all of our 5 different expedition teams set up, and then we'll have all our hunt teams set up. So if you guys are currently doing the Heroes Path missions and you haven't finished teams, I'll be showing you what I do for all of that. So we'll have all our hunt teams, our expo teams, and then I'll show you RTA. Again, I have the second channel. Tomorrow we'll start the first Guild Wars on that. Okay, I have some videos already. I've already prepped some. But tomorrow, the second channel, a link to that is in the description. There's going to be a lot of links in the description now because I'm not going to redo certain resources that are already done. So I'm going to add additional links. So just go to the description of this video. Going to be a bunch of stuff in there. So first up, I want to go ahead and we do have a Moonlight Summon. We start all these usually with some kind of summon. So let's just go ahead and we'll do one Moonlight Summon for this. I did pull Galililius. I will be showing her off on that other channel for both Guild Wars and Arena. I have to build her on this account. The other account already has her geared. But let's go ahead and do a Moonlight Summon. 3-star is what it is. And Elson. Absolutely amazing. And then we have 4 fire, 4 stars. I don't know where we got these. Oh, Dash Pass. The Dash Pass is giving these summons out. So we'll do these 4 summons and I'll go through, show my account, and what all we have achieved so far. I'm pretty happy with it, I gotta say. All right, there's a 5-star. It is going to be a Tamarin. Nice. Okay, next up we have another 5-star. It's going to be a Cecilia. Okay, can I get all of them right? Show me another 5-star. No 5-star. Dang. Okay, well I guess a 2. That's good. That is good. Not pre-recorded, by the way. This is not pre-recorded. Okay, so I did get Cecilia. I didn't have her Tamarin dupe. I would either save it or just imprint her. I'm not sure. I'll probably just imprint her. I mean, ML Tamarin. There's a good chance I won't get her anyway when she comes out on this account. So not super worried about it. But the next thing I want to do is going to be go through my characters. Okay, so pulling up that list, I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to zoom in the list. Control plus. So this list right here, I wanted you guys to go and follow this to an extent. Obviously, you all are going to have different characters. You can pick different things. But with the list, I went and did this right here. So these are the characters that we decided on. All right, let me click into this. Control plus, plus. Okay, so this was the thing. You wanted 2 common damage, or 2 common openers, 3 to 4 damage dealers. That is on episode 10.5. That'll be linked in the description as well in case you missed it. But I want you to go through and try to pick this, and I have a tier list of the characters with the name under them, so you can see if you have those characters and build or start working on them, build them up, meaning awaken them, get them level 60, all of that, get them ready to use. Then, so total, you want to have 12-ish characters. So what I ended up doing is I went Death Dealer Ray, Bloodblade Corinne for my openers. And I have more openers other than that, but those were 2 different ones. Then response openers. So these are openers that you pick into your opponent's openers if they take your comfort picks. So with Death Dealer Ray and Bloodblade Corinne, Celine is good against Death Dealer Ray. Polytus can be used in Death Dealer Ray. Not really, but in Bloodblade Corinne, getting the unbuffable could be good. And Moon Bunny Dominial can be used in Death Dealer Ray. I know the spelling on a couple of these are going to be wrong. Okay, I was in a hurry when I don't even know how to spell it. Moon Bunny Domnial, okay? Damage dealers, Janua, Bloodblade Corinne. So those are just 2 damage dealers I did real quick. Counterpick damage dealers. I did build Ravi, and I built Arya, which I'll go and show you all my builds on these characters. Okay, next up are cleansers. I had to go with Destina, but my number 1 cleanser pick for new players, you can go Meat-Eater Cowrick if you have him, Destina, Desert Drill Basar could be used. He just needs to be faster. You could use Infinite Horizon Acades, though. Infinite Horizon Acades is the #1 pick, I would say. In terms of my tanks, I went C Armin. I did not build Arrowwell, but there's a whole bunch of different tanks that you can go through, but I did do C Armin on this account, so you can see me play her, Crimson Armin, 4-star Moonlight character. Next up, supports. I built Abigail. I built Angel of Light Angelica. She can be considered a support, and then Moonbind Dominio can be considered a support character. So I have a couple supports. And then our disruptors, we have Selene, Politis, Angel of Light Angelica, all characters that were in the other things as well. Okay, that is the list I went with. Now let me go ahead and go. If you guys need to do this and try to pick your characters, go back to the last video or go to the stream that I'm picking them all in, which is, again, linked down in the description. Sorry, I'm going to say it 100 times. Okay, but let's go ahead, and I want to show all the characters and where the total account progression is. So here's the Janua. We just did full damage, and we're 99.4 effect or crit chance. That's good enough for me. I mean, that's going to crit all the time. And Wind Rider for his artifact, I grabbed that from a selector. We're going to go ahead and sort by grade, though, so we'll actually start with Abigail. Abigail, for new players, I highly suggest going full tank. If you can get a damaged one, that's fine, but full tank Abigail is amazing. I used the artifact Victorious Flag, and for exclusive equipment, Defense Break. Next up, Ravi. I have Sigurd's Scythe. You could use Victorious Flag on her instead of Abigail. So you can mix up your artifacts depending on what you would like to do. But I did get Sigurd's Scythe, so this is what I'm using on her. If you have Golden Rose, you could do it. There's a couple different artifacts you could do, but Ravi isn't a character you'll pick too much. You only pick it if your opponent's picking him all landy, basically. So in terms of her EE, I just have her S1 EE for more damage. Next up, the Janua we already saw or showed. I just try to get above like 170 speed, preferably. If you can, you don't want to go 0 speed Janua. It probably won't work too great. He already has insane damage. Going super slow with more damage won't really help you too much. Next up, we have our Politis. So Politis, I just built kind of a bulky effectiveness one. I wasn't really picking this. If you have the artifact Abyssal Crown, my goal for new players usually is just try to build an effectiveness Politis full bulk around 190 to 210 speed. You're good. This one I just did auto gear for it. So this is not an ideal Politis, but it works. The thing is, your characters don't need to be perfect. As long as they somewhat are geared and can somewhat do the role they need, you will boost all these characters. They will get stronger. But Abyssal Crown 5-star artifact, it was on Harseti banner. If you did get it, amazing for Politis. Next up, I did a speed Arya. Nobody copy this. I mean, unless you want to. I just rolled this piece. I have a really fast defense neck. You can see my gear rolling session. I did a second gear rolling session and it went crazy. It's in that same video. The gear I rolled was insane that day. But I did a opening Arya. I can show you how I use this in some of the matches coming up on the YouTube channel. They're also in a live stream. If you go find the live stream video, you can watch that back. But she ended up working exactly how I hoped. Very, very good character. Generally, this character is built still with effect res, but you have crit chance and crit damage a lot of the time on lifesteal set. Most of the time on lifesteal set. But for new players, you probably won't have that yet. So this is just what I went with. If you want to do a slower, bulkier Arya, that would work too. You don't have to be super fast. So just try to aim for 100 crit chance, a low crit damage, and aim for like 130 effect resist at least, preferably more. Artifact options, I went book on mine since she's speed, but you can go the effect res already if it's not on one of your soul weaving characters from Guild War, Bastion of Hope. Next up, we have Elena. It's not really a geared Elena, but this is kind of the idea. You want like 200 effect resist, 220 speed, and the rest in the bulk. She'll be way less bulky than this, but she's just there in case I need it. As you see, a lot of these characters aren't perfect, but they at least work. So here's the Selene. The Selene ended up pretty good. I did have to use a goblin piece of gear, but overall, she still hit all the stat requirements I want. Selene, I tried not to go below 180. Okay, anything above between 180 and like 210 speed is solid. But the reason you want to go faster speed and not do attack boots on Selene, lets your speed set with attack boots, is you need her to cut. So if your opponent clicks on attack skill, she gets combat readiness. You want to make sure that combat readiness pushes her above the opponent so you can kill something. That's the whole idea with her. She's not going to kill something on the counter attack every time, but on her turn, when she soul burns with attack buff from the artifact, should be very good. Next up, Galilius. I cannot build her on this account. The other account has her, though, so I will be showcasing her on Guild Wars and RTA and everything. So just wait for tomorrow, and those videos will be out. Destina had to be my cleanser. If you have Infinite Horizon Acades builders similar to this, you just build as much effect res as you possibly can. Basically, sort your gear by effect res. And I bought these two pieces from the Arena Shop. Okay, the Arena Shop effect res. These are two of the best budget pieces you can buy. Next up, we have our Sharoon. Sharoon, this is not a good build. This is something that is going to be in the works next. I'm going to try to build a better one. But she is great versus Amiki. She's great versus Meat Eater Cowrick. She's great versus ML Senya, ML Haste. Emma Illinev, she's good against basically everything in the meta right now, except for Janua's, and it's kind of not really into BBK, but not the worst into BBK, as long, or Bloodblade Corinne, as long as you have enough bulk on her. So ideally, I would want to not be on effectiveness ring and maybe actually have some real gear on her because this has 20 crit chance. But this was just an option while drafting in case I had nothing else. Sometimes it's okay to build a character that isn't on super great stats or overall gear because sometimes you have nothing else to pick, and picking that character could win you the game even on garbage gear. So I didn't build my Tywin yet because I know a lot of you won't have him. So Crimson Armin, that's just the idea of a Crimson Armin. Just go bulky, try to make her go after all your damage dealers, or after your team. So you want her to be the backup part of your team. Is either have her go first, which is really hard to do, or have her go last. So either you pick all slow characters and pick Crimson Armin as your speed character, or that's very rare. That was a thing like years ago that people did. Now it's mainly you build her to go slower than all your damage dealers. Imperial Illinev, I did get her as well, I know, but I did not build her yet. Okay, and I know you guys probably won't have her. I know it's not fair. I pulled a bunch of Moonlight 5s, so I don't want to showcase a bunch of Moonlight 5s that everyone won't have within the first couple weeks of these like RTA showings and stuff. I did build Moon Captain Landy though. This is where I spent most of my arena points. Not a great build because everything rolled into speed. But overall, this works. This is a usable Navy Captain Landy for sure. Not too sad about it. Next up, we have our Aiden. My Aiden is super fast. You guys probably will not build Aiden this fast. Aiden at 220 with just pure damage would be great. If you can do the pen set with some of the free pen set gear, that's fantastic. But going through these characters, you can kind of see some of the things that I used it on, and you can mimic some of it. So all this gear is free. We all have the exact same pieces. So you can try to maybe put it on a character similar to what I have. Angel of Light Angelica, this is generally my Proof of Valor character on a new account. This Angel of Light Angelica works. It's not fantastic, but this is just a disrupting, debuffing character. It's really good to slow down the momentum of your opponents, and it almost will always get banned if you pick it correctly. So this is just a great 4-star character option. Usually the ideal stats are full bulk, 220 speed, at least 150 effectiveness. We're getting there. Okay, this isn't Reforged because I don't have any Reforged match right now. Moon Bunny Dominion. So Moon Bunny Dominion, build as fast as you can, but you don't have to be fast. So this account has a 241. Ideal Moon Bunny would be around 260-ish probably. Some people go all the way up to 300 in-game players, but 240 is fine. I'm actually happy with this. You want more effect res than I have. Obviously, if you can get close to 200 effect res, that'd be great. But if you can't build her fast, my other account, the Stream Guide account, has a 210 Bunny Dom. It's at the same spot this account is. Has a 210 Bunny Dom, and it's working just fine. So Moon Bunny Dominion is there to pick into characters to give extra turn. Death Dealer Ray, Knockwall. The biggest thing, if you have Moon Bunny Dom, you want to build her even if she's crappy, just in case the opponent has Knockwall. You third pick Moon Bunny Dominion, or always try to pick Moon Bunny into that. Even if you don't have the effect, doesn't get reset, still insane value. Okay, next up we have our Bloodblade Corinne. This character is a hard carry character. Any damage artifact is fantastic. I just put her on this because my Wind Rat or everything else that I use was taken up. So Gala Lilius' artifact is great on her, especially if you eventually go the effect res build. But if you cannot do a good effect res build, just put her on pure damage. She's going to work great. Spectre Tibia is still just the same PvE. Spectre Tibia, she works for PvP. I drafted her a couple times and won the games when I picked her. So Death Dealer Ray. Death Dealer Ray is hard. The ideal substats or things for Death Dealer Ray is 220 speed, 150 effectiveness, everything else in a bulk. Aim for that. If you can go faster, cool. If you go a little bit slower, it's fine. I have a 231 on this account. The other account is one that's 206. Okay, so 206 speed it was working just fine. So as long as whenever you go slower, you just go bulkier. That's the idea. All right, next up, Sermia. This is going into our PvE characters. So Sermia is still geared. I put her on the free rage set. So Sermia is going to be used tomorrow. I'm going to be showing you all the different hunt teams that I have for Katie's 13, A13, or Azimanic 13, Golem 13. She's actually using 2 of the different hunts. So Sermia, I highly suggest boosting up just so you have these hunt teams just done. I do need to switch her right side gear. Obviously, I need to get her up to at least 85, preferably 100, because I'm going to be using her in Katie's as well. But for right now, this piece of gear, everything didn't roll crit chance. Everything has 9 crit chance. So I'm 21 off max, but this has no crit chance. I need to get a better this, and this has 8. So hopefully maybe I can get a piece with 10 and a piece with like 10, and that'll fill it out. But we'll try to get her working. Mercedes gear, this is for our Grass Acquisition team. This is fine. You can build Mercedes for PvP. So Mercedes, say I have the Moonlight Landy. You can buy some of this counter gear for your Mercedes, and paired behind Abigail worked really well for me. So maybe most of you won't have Moonlight Landy, but maybe if you don't have Moonlight Landy, have Mercedes on a similar idea as Landy would be. Okay, she is still a fantastic character for new players getting into RTA. She actually carried me in that challenge to Masters. She was super good behind Abigail. Okay, next up we have our cigarette. This is for Wyvern. This is our other rage set that we got from the login bonuses, so she's good to go. I only need 35 crit on her because we have Furious on our Wyvern team. Our Brig is still the same, just full bulk, 50 effectiveness. This covers all expeditions, all hunts that we're going to use them in. We are going to use them in a bunch of other hunt teams coming up tomorrow's video. Free Spirit area, she's still just my farming character. As you see, a bunch of free gears still on her. I could reforge this still. But overall, Free Spirit area being on gear, I will probably steal this gear eventually and just put her on attack set and use this for PvP character, but I didn't have any other damage dealers I wanted to build yet. So it works on her. Now we have our Lorena. Our Lorena is a little struggling right now. I do need to level up some more gear on her, but overall, she'll work for everything that we need to use her on still. If I do need a better gear on her, then I'll just go switch gear off one of my damage dealers and then switch it back when I'm done. That's the idea. Usually you only need some of these characters for a little bit, then you switch gear, switch it back, you're good to go. So she will, after I upgrade everything, she'll be 100 crit chance to over 250 crit damage. She'll be fine. She's just a little slow. Next up, Raz. Raz, I do need to upgrade the ring in the neck, so I did steal this, but I will be upgrading this today and get this back up. But Raz will still be 196 speed, probably about 25k health overall, which is good. Content with that. And then now we have our Tamarin. Tamarin still 184 speed overall. Super happy with that. Mui, just for Wyvern, need to upgrade the ring a little bit, or the necklace a little bit, but this just, my Wyvern never fails, so I'm not worried about upgrading that right now. Next up, Furious. Furious is still on the terrible gear we had him on, +9, +6. Never, I fail like one Wyvern run out of every 50 with the team that I have, so this works just fine. I might boost him a little bit because I think I did take my Brig off Aureus. I put him on Steadfast, meaning that he is more likely to die in the first wave of Wyvern. So I'll need to boost up something. Anything, I'll switch this out for an HP neck just to give him survivability. He doesn't need any damage. My cigarette basically one shots Wyvern now. Okay, and last character is going to be our Camilla. Okay. Last character that we have set up for PV, all our expedition teams I showed, our Wyvern team we just showed, but that is everything. So tomorrow, though, I want you guys to build Rowana. If you're not currently using Sirmia, I'm using Sirmia in 2 different hunts, but you guys do not have to copy me from this point, okay? Going forward, you can find other resources to copy and use, all right? You can go to other streamers, other content creators, see what they do. Maybe you like what they do better, but at least your account right now is in a fantastic position once you follow to this point and maybe follow the next, the stream video of me building all my characters. Just follow along, build your characters along with me, and you're going to be in a great spot. Okay. Now, the next things that we're going to be working on, like I said, we're going to be building all of our hunt teams tomorrow. I'll show all the builds and all the characters. The main thing I want you to do is just get Rowana. Once you have Rowana, that's basically the only other character. I told you guys to get her from one of your selector tickets. You should all have her. I'm going to use her in multiple different things. I'm going to use 2 of the hunts, or at least 1 of the hunt for now, but we are going to use her in a Hell Raid team as well. So Rowana, make sure you build her up. Next up, Abyss, okay? I am not going to be doing individual Abyss guides. There's someone named Suzumiya. He's a content creator, Epic 7. He makes great videos. I'm going to link you guys his channel. I think he has everything that you need for Abyss. He just made new guides for all of it on a new player account. Meaning you can go there, follow him, look at his builds, and just do that. I don't want to make individual videos for each thing that is already out there that someone else just did. Plus, you guys maybe haven't heard of Suzumiya. Maybe help him as a creator. If you go over there, like his video, subscribe to him. The more Epic 7 creators we have that are doing well, the better for the game because they're going to be more motivated to make videos. You guys have more content to watch. Win-win for everybody. So from Abyss 90 plus, all right, I'm going to be going through all this today. I've done it on stream. You can go look at my stream guide and go and click on the different ones. You could find me beating this with my other account. Okay, I did the stream guide account. You can go watch me beat it. It's probably about 2 weeks ago I did it. Or actually, I beat all of it on stream just a couple of days ago on the challenge account. But you can find resources. If you want to see me beat them, just look at the titles of my live streams. You could go find where I did it, and you just have to skip around. You'll see all the characters. You'll see everything I did. But I think the Suzumiya videos will help you tremendously. So I want you guys to push up to Abyss 100. Over time, this is no rush. Abyss 100 is usually the stopping point for most players. Then if you want to go to Abyss 101 or higher, I believe Sue has videos on those 2 you could copy. And it'd be that way you can start going through your Abyss and just copy what he does, do his builds for the different characters, and you'll be good to go. Okay, so Abyss from here, I'm not going to cover anymore. It's going to be that link in the channel. So I know there's a bunch of links down below, but that is how you're going to do Abyss. Then from there, though, tomorrow, like I said, will be the hunt teams and the other showcase. So the hunt teams and then the RTA, a couple matches teaching you how to draft. right? As long as you get your initial bearings into going in RTA, learning how to draft, you're good to go. And then from there, though, I'm going to have a Guild War video on the second channel tomorrow. Second channel link in the description too. But the Guild War video will be showing like my thought process on my 2 different accounts, my 2 new player accounts I'm playing, going through and doing Guild Wars. So you can hear me talk about different combinations you could do, certain type of teams to watch out for, things like that. I'm going to do a whole series with it. Probably, I'm going to probably do it forever at this point. So if you want to watch that and start getting into Guild Wars, once all your characters are geared up like this, you'll be good to go. And then we are going to be doing the last thing I want you guys working on right now. Obviously, still be burning your stamina, doing your hunts, doing your Undercourt History 30. All of that stuff's great. Keep doing it. You need the AP. I know a lot of people, there is a couple things I want to talk about before we end the video. But the first thing is keep doing all that, and then we are going to be going into Labyrinth. Make sure you're still pushing Labyrinth. Try to finish Malekith's Consciousness. Once you're done with Malekith's Consciousness, this will be the final part of the guide will be going and showing teams for all of the Hell Raid bosses for new players. Okay, that is the end of this guide series. It'll be 13 to 14 episodes. I haven't decided yet. Maybe there's a couple other things I'll think to squeeze in there. If you guys have anything else you want me to cover, let me know that isn't Abyss, because I'm not going and doing Abyss again. I'm sorry. I have other things I'd like to do. I've already done on my main account. These are just side accounts to teach you guys how to play. I don't want to sit through the RNG of Abyss. I am sorry. I will let the other content creators go do that. I'm good. So those will be linked. But other than that, I'll show you your Hell Raid bosses. I'll give you teams and builds for all of that. And from there, your PvE is set up. And it's just building PvP teams, building Guild War stuff. You can go try to eventually build one-shot hunt teams if you'd like. But you'll at least have basic teams for everything you could ever need. Your account stabilized. You should be good to go from there. It's just the more effort you put in past this guide series, the stronger your account becomes. But at least I gave you hopefully a solid foundation following along with me. But from this channel is mostly going to go back to my main account and covering news and stuff. But if you want to see the progression of this account over time, then it's going to have to be on the extra YouTube channel, the Deity Reroll channel linked in the description. That's all I got. It's super, super, super easy. That's it. Now, if you want to go through Chapter 5 once you build all your characters, that is something I'd like you guys to do too. So technically, I guess we might show some Chapter 5 stuff. But going into Chapter 5, just go to the first stage. I think it's a story, actually. Okay, is that not the first thing? Did I misclick? Okay, well, I have to beat the Aiden stage. Okay, I have to beat the Aiden stage. But once you get into where you're doing Chapter 5, just put your strongest characters, okay? That's a cool thing. Maybe you got a Navy Captain Landy. Bloodblade Corinne, very, very good. Okay, you could do that. But just do your general team. Chapter 5 is probably easier than Chapter 4 by like a long shot, especially once you're to this point because you have the gear. But just bring 2 of your strongest damage dealers that you want. You can still use Spectre Tibra if you'd like. So Spectre Tibra instead of Landy. Bloodblade Corinne, you can switch her out for your Celine still if you want. Any characters you want, just go through it with, okay? Chapter 5 is pretty easy. There's a couple bosses you might have to read and switch some stuff out, but overall, not too many problems until you get to the final boss. Final boss can be a little hard, but one of the big characters you could work on if you do Chapter 5 is the character Amiki. I'm sure if any of you are following E7, watching any streams, watching any videos, Amiki is picked everywhere right now. She's amazing. So she's a good character you could like have as one of your goals that you could start reaching. I'm probably going to start working on her on this account. But other than that, that's it. Go back 3-star your Chapter 2, Chapter 3, Chapter 4 stages. And anything else you guys need that you want covered in the last couple episodes, let me know. Okay, I will either cover it myself or give you a resource in the video to go find the answers to whatever you need. Okay, thank you for watching. It's been Metro Deity, and I will see you in either next episodes, or either the final or one more, and we're done. So have a good rest of your day. Peace out.